welcome back to our YouTube channel. Are you curious about why you might feel a unique sense of purpose or calling in your life? Have you ever wondered why you were chosen by a higher power? In this video, we'll delve deep into the fascinating question, why did God choose you? We'll explore perspectives from Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and personal and philosophical viewpoints to uncover the profound reasons behind divine choice. Stay with us until the end to gain a comprehensive understanding that might just illuminate your own spiritual journey and purpose. Don't miss out on this enlightening exploration. The question, why did God choose you, touches upon profound themes of purpose, destiny, faith, and divine will. It is a question that resonates deeply within the hearts of believers across different faith traditions and philosophical backgrounds. Exploring this question requires delving into theological doctrines, scriptural interpretations, and personal reflections. This essay aims to provide a comprehensive understanding of why God might choose individuals, drawing from Christian, Jewish, Islamic, and philosophical perspectives.
Christian perspective: divine love and grace in Christianity. The concept of being chosen by God is often understood in the context of divine love and grace. The Bible teaches that God's choice is not based on human merit or actions, but on His unconditional love and sovereign will. This idea is clearly articulated in the New Testament, particularly in Ephesians 1:4-5. Paul writes, "For He chose us in Him before the creation of the world to be holy and blameless in His sight. In love He predestined us for adoption to sonship through Jesus Christ, in accordance with His pleasure and will." This passage highlights several key points. Pre-creation choice. God's choice was made before the creation of the world, indicating that it is part of His eternal plan. Holiness and blamelessness. The purpose of being chosen is to live a holy and blameless life. Adoption to sonship. Being chosen is likened to being adopted as children of God, emphasizing a personal and intimate relationship with Him. Divine will. This choice is in accordance with God's pleasure and will, underscoring the concept of divine grace. Purpose and calling. Another important aspect of being chosen in the Christian faith is the idea of purpose and calling. Christians believe that God chooses individuals for specific purposes, which may include spreading the gospel, serving others, or fulfilling particular roles within the community of believers. In Jeremiah 9:11, God declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This verse is often interpreted to mean that God has a unique and purposeful plan for each person. Being chosen by God involves discovering and fulfilling this divine purpose. The concept of vocation or calling is central to this understanding. For example, some may feel called to pastoral ministry, while others might be called to serve in various capacities within their communities. Salvation and election. The doctrine of election is a significant theological concept in Christianity, particularly in Reformed traditions. It refers to the belief that God has predestined certain individuals to be saved. This idea is rooted in passages like Romans 8:29-30. "For those God foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those He predestined, He also called. Those He called, He also justified. Those He justified, He also glorified." This doctrine emphasizes God's sovereignty in the process of salvation. The concept of election can be challenging, as it raises questions about free will and divine justice. However, it also provides a sense of assurance and gratitude for believers who see their salvation as a result of God's gracious choice. Jewish perspective. Covenantal relationship. In Judaism, the idea of being chosen by God is closely tied to the covenantal relationship between God and the Jewish people. This concept is deeply rooted in the Hebrew Bible, where God makes covenants with the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and later with the entire nation of Israel. In Deuteronomy 7:6-8, Moses addresses the Israelites saying, "For you are a people holy to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you out of all the peoples on the face of the earth to be His people, His treasured possession. The Lord did not set His affection on you and choose you because you were more numerous than other peoples, for you were the fewest of all peoples. But it was because the Lord loved you and kept the oath he swore to your ancestors, that he brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you from the land of slavery, from the power of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. This passage emphasizes several key points: holiness and separation. The Jewish people are chosen to be holy and set apart for God. Divine love. God's choice is motivated by his love and faithfulness to the covenant he made with the patriarchs. Redemption and purpose. Being chosen involves a mission to live according to God's commandments and be a light to the nations. Responsibility and service in Jewish thought. Being chosen by God carries significant responsibilities. The chosen people are called to uphold the Torah, live ethical lives, and serve as a moral example to others. This responsibility is articulated in the concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, which emphasizes the duty of Jews to work towards social justice and the betterment of humanity. The prophet Isaiah speaks of Israel's role as a light to the nations in Isaiah 49 verse 6. It is too small a thing for you to be my servant to restore the tribes of Jacob and bring back those of Israel have kept. I will also make you a light for the Gentiles, that my salvation may reach to the ends of the earth. This mission to be a moral and spiritual exemplar is central to the Jewish understanding of being chosen. It reflects a commitment to living in accordance with God's will and contributing to the world in meaningful ways. Islamic perspective. Guidance and mercy. In Islam, the concept of being chosen by God is often understood in terms of receiving his guidance and mercy. Muslims believe that Allah guides whom he wills to the straight path, and this guidance is seen as a sign of divine favor. The Quran emphasizes this in Surah Al-Baqarah 272. It is not upon you, O Muhammad, to guide them, but Allah guides whom he wills. And whatever good you believers spend is for yourselves, and you do not spend except seeking the countenance of Allah. And whatever you spend of good, it will be fully repaid to you, and you will not be wronged. This verse highlights that guidance is a gift from Allah, bestowed according to his wisdom and will. Being chosen in this context means being guided to live a righteous and faithful life. Prophetic tradition. Islamic tradition holds that prophets are specifically chosen by Allah to deliver his message to humanity. This choice is seen as a great honor and responsibility. The Quran recounts the stories of various prophets, emphasizing their selection by Allah and their role in conveying his guidance. For instance, in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:12, Allah speaks of choosing Abraham and mention when Abraham was tried by his Lord with commands and he fulfilled them. Allah said, "Indeed, I will make you a leader for the people." Abraham said, "And of my descendants?" Allah said, "My covenant does not include the wrongdoer." Prophets are chosen for their righteousness, obedience, and dedication to God's will. Their mission is to guide their communities, uphold justice, and teach the principles of faith. Personal and existential perspective. Individual purpose. From a personal perspective, the idea of being chosen by God can be deeply meaningful and motivating. It suggests that each individual has a unique purpose and calling in life, which can provide a sense of direction and fulfillment. This sense of purpose is not limited to religious contexts, but can also be seen in broader existential terms. For example, individuals might feel a sense of calling to pursue certain careers, engage in creative endeavors, or contribute to their communities in specific ways. The belief that one's life has a particular purpose can inspire perseverance and commitment. Personal belief and faith. For many people, the conviction of being chosen by God arises from personal spiritual experiences and faith. This belief can provide a profound sense of assurance and belonging. It reinforces the idea that one's life is part of a larger divine plan. Personal testimonies and spiritual encounters often play a significant role in shaping this belief. Individuals might recount moments when they felt particularly guided or protected by a higher power, leading them to conclude that they have been chosen for a specific path or mission. Philosophical and psychological perspective. Self-realization. Philosophically, the idea of being chosen can be connected to the concept of self-realization. This involves understanding and fulfilling one's potential and purpose in life. From this perspective, being chosen by God can be seen as an invitation to embark on a journey of personal growth and self-discovery. The process of self-realization often involves introspection, reflection, and a commitment to personal development. It requires individuals to explore their talents, passions, and values, and to align their actions with their deeper sense of purpose. Psychological impact: believing that one is chosen by God can have significant psychological benefits. It can foster a sense of self-worth, purpose, and resilience. This belief can also provide comfort and hope during challenging times, offering a sense of divine support and encouragement. Research in positive psychology has shown that having a sense of purpose and meaning in life is associated with greater well-being and mental health. The conviction of being chosen can contribute to these positive outcomes by providing a framework for understanding one's experiences.